So I'm talking to my accountant today, and I said, gee, shouldn't you guys like administer anesthesia or laughing gas or vodka, something? Goodness gracious. I mean, we all complain and moan about taxes all year long. Well, some of us do. David does every day on the radio program. You know, well, we'll leave that for tomorrow. But good, and God forbid you make a little too much over any kind of a little hump or bump that they've got out there, and then you get pegged for what do they call that? The estimated payments. Now, many of you have already been through this, and when I sold my business a few years ago, I thought my massive tax headache was over. Today I have a massive tax headache and hay fever, as you can hear. I wasn't even going to do the video tonight, but I thought, the show must go on, and I got to pay the tax man. So anyway, the accountant said, you gotta pay this quarterly now. This is based on a projection of what you may earn. I go, well, okay, all right. So I gotta pay them all this money today, and then tomorrow I gotta turn around and make this estimated payment based on what they think I'm gonna owe them this time next year, based on what I owe them this year. And he said, very good. For a 52-year-old man, you have got a pretty firm grasp on the tax code. I'm like, well, okay, well, let me ask you this. God forbid, I don't make any money this year. Do I still have to send those quarterly payments in? And he goes, yep. I go, well, if I'm not making any money, where's that money supposed to come from? He goes, that's not on the form. That's not one of the things you fill out. He goes, you just need to send in the payment. I go, so what you're saying is I might have to like do the aluminum can thing to send them money if, for God forbid, business wasn't good. He said, yeah. Now see, Mac, before I sold my company, it was all different. It was payroll, and there was a lot of people and a lot of moving parts, and all that stuff just got paid, and there was cash flow, and it was different. But when you decide that you're gonna welcome Savannah, Georgia, when you decide your dream is that you're gonna be this guy who makes his living on the internet. You're gonna be Bert's fantasy poster boy, and you're gonna stay home and you're gonna trade in your pajamas or your boxers. Okay, bully that. But here's the deal: if you're coming out of corporate America, or maybe being the boss in corporate America, that's a cocoon. Being an employee in corporate America, that's a cocoon. Now, I know when you're the employee, you think it's a glass ceiling. Trust me, it's a cocoon, all right? But when you're the boss and you got X number of employees working for you, creating the cash flow to pay the tax man, that's a cocoon too, okay? Man, when you just strike out on your own, and we're not talking about a young man's game at this point, okay? Past middle age, well into the third quarter. You got to you got to open your own mail. Oh, I mean, pay your own bills. Seriously? And deal with these taxes. Oh my goodness. So I'm just saying, you want to be a trader? Well, pay attention, because I'm going to teach you how to do it. All right. This is the S&P 500 E-mini futures. This is the day. Welcome, Madison Heights, Virginia. This is the daily chart of the S&P 500 E-mini futures. Now, I'm going to use my weekly trading zone tool to highlight prices, as you know I do in these videos. The other day, when price was down here, I said, woo-wee, wouldn't it be nice to see price pull back to the BBC and then drop like a stone and give us a really nice short market to work with? Because we've not had such a condition since December? November? Yeah. I mean, this market, contagion, recession, I don't throw any label at it you want. This thing just kept climbing. So it's getting a breather here, a little relaxation, a little rest. From 1382 so far, it has dropped to 1360. That'd be correct? Yeah. 1382 to 1360. So far, we've had a 22-point drop. That's on the daily chart. 22 points. Now go back and look at the videos from 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago. Okay, because I told you this trade was coming. I told you to be ready for it. I said it's going to be great. It's going to be the first time in a while. Blah, blah, blah. And it actually came to pass. Super. I get to pay yet even more taxes. Okay, fair enough. But anyway, it was a 22-point move. Hope you got some of it. Doesn't look like it's over yet. We'll see. We have a trade in play, as those of you who are partners are aware of. And for those of you that follow us via the toolbar, you know a little something too. So, by the way, if you haven't installed the toolbar, go to the website, cfrn.net, bottom right-hand side, very colorful button. It says install the toolbar. Do it. You'll get a lot of neat stuff. You get the Daily Audio Bible. You get all our tweets. You get the Facebook. You get the Gmail. Oh, my goodness. You get our daily newspaper. Get the Amazon wish list. There's a lot of stuff. Plus, you get to listen to CFRN, the radio station, 24/7 as you surf the net in the background. Very unobtrusive, very nice. I think you're going to like it. So check it out, download it today. While you're there, be sure to take the free trial if you haven't taken the free trial. If you know, let me just ask you a question. If you haven't taken the free trial, why? Why? Why haven't you taken the free trial? Obviously, you come to the site because you want to make a living trading. Obviously, you're watching this video because you're hoping to learn something or figure something out or find something out. And you haven't taken the free trial? I'm telling you, that is the first step. This is the journey of 1,000 miles, starts with or 1,000 pips, or a lot of points, starts with a single mouse click. Yeah, got to take the free trial. cfrn.net/apply. Just go there. No credit card required. Your name, your email, bing, you're in. Within 20 minutes, you'll be downloading the platform, downloading the indicators. You'll be good to go. And you'll be in the live trading room with us for 5 trading days. Our good friends Bert and Leslie at Daniels Trading will be standing by, toll free, 866-928-3310. Ready, willing, and able to help you with any questions, issues, problems you may have. They'll make sure you get all your data flowing. Now, this is live, real-time data. It's not delayed. It's not 20 minutes behind. No. No, this is the good stuff. All right? Lumber. I don't know if you trade lumber, but you could. Pork bellies. Gold. Copper. Silver. T-bills. The euro, the DAX. What? S&P 500 E-mini futures? Oh yeah, they got that too. And here's the deal. When you take the free trial, you get it all. You get everything. And it doesn't cost you a dime. We want you to turn over every stone and kick every tire that we have. We only have 3 stones and 4 tires, but you know what I'm saying. That's a lot to do in a week. But but you can do it. And at the end of the week, you'll know whether or not you want to become a CFRN partner. A lot of people have. We have traders around the globe, and we have a special community meeting every Thursday night. That's where we break out the new stuff, the cool stuff. Partners come on, they take the mic, they share their experiences. It's, a pretty good time. But again, you can't get there till you take the free trial. So get cracking, and I'll get going. All right? So you really didn't come to see this 22-point move, did you? No. What you want to see is what I always do on these videos. It just sounds a little funnier tonight because I got this hay fever thing just cropped up out of nowhere. I guess something in my yard is blooming. I don't know what. I was sobbing earlier about the tax thing, but that's over now, so it's not even about that. Alright, let's scale this chart so we can read it. Oh, there, we can read that. Alright, our last video ended on Friday the 13th, where if you have our toolbar installed, you know that we had a little tweedly diddly dee. And good evening, Knoxville. You were able to take advantage of a tweet on Friday that was good for 13 points. Okay, if you got the toolbar, see, here's the thing: you could be over at, I don't know, antiques.com, because that's how you roll. Okay, but you're using the CFRN toolbar. Let me show you how that rolls. Okay, I just got to brag on this thing because it really is cool. You ready? Okay. Let's say you were over to the antiques.com. Is there even such a thing? I bet there is. Okay. You're over surfing the antiques.com for whatever reason. I think I own that. Okay, but anyway. Free business listing. Alright. See, you're over here at this site. Call this anysite.com, and you're looking and you're doing, and all of a sudden, the good guys over at CFRN, they put out a tweet that says, consider selling the S&P Emini futures at this price on a stop. And it pops up right there, and you go, I better investigate this. So you click it. Opens up the Twitter window, you go, and then you go look at your chart, and you go, you put that trade on, and before you know it, you could have made 13 points. I just burned up 13 minutes, and I haven't talked about anything yet. Time flies, doesn't it? Alright, let's do this thing. Okay, we've already done the 13th. The 14th was a Saturday. The 15th was a Sunday night. Could you have gotten any action on a Sunday night? Well, yeah, a little bit. I'll show you. I think we need to shrink this up a little bit. Put it in perspective. Alright. Okay. Let's... April 13th. If you look down in red, see it says April 13th? Right there. This bar, this was the opening salvo of Sunday night Globex. Alright, we know that we've got the MA1 below the BBC. Conditions are bearish. We're looking to get short some way, somewhere, somehow. Not really. We know exactly where and exactly how right here. Alright. At what price? Our indicator is going to be lit up green over here, and it's going to say sell 1365 limit. Fair enough, I can do that. Price then drops to 1360.50. Okay. Alright, I can do that one, I guess, without the calculator. 4.5 points. Okay. 4.5 points. Now, our indicator tells you the exact price to go short. 1365. You get a couple ticks drawdown, and then it goes 4.5 points. Now, Do we have an indicator that screams at you, get out, get out, the market's going to turn back up? Well, we have some stuff that might give you a little bit of a heads up on some, it might show you a thing or two about a thing or two. But really all you got to do here is look left. Okay. Price bounced very nicely at 60.5. And then what did it do again at 60.5? Bounced very nicely, right? So, price pulls back, get a 4.5 point drop, right back to support, okay? Back up she goes. All right. So 4.5. I'm only going to say this once tonight. Can you get 4.5 points out of a 4.5 point move? No. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Price came down. There's 4.5 points available, total, potential. Then it pulls back up. If you short that, I wasn't around for the entire life of the candle. I know it opened here. I know it traveled up to here. It could have gone back down to here. I'm not going to say this happened. I'm going to say this is possible. For 65 to 62.25. There could have been 2.5 points in there. Okay. Now let's do this. Let's say that on this pullback here to 65, it doesn't drop right there. It actually runs the other way, which it certainly looks like it did. It goes up to 67.75. Okay. Now from 65 to 67.75, that's 2 3/4 points. We only risk how much? That's right, 2 points on any trade. So let's do this. No wild speculation. We're just going to say that trade got stopped out for 2 points. Okay. All right. Then we get a bullish cross, and we get a pullback. Bullish cross, pullback. Okay, pullback price is 1366. Why can't I read that? 75. 1366.75. And it runs up to, okay, it pulls back here. Now you get a drawdown. Let's go ahead and measure that drawdown. From 66.75 to 65.50, that's a 1 1/4 point drawdown. Notice how we seem to have a lot of those? If you've been watching these videos for a while, you go, it seems like it draws down at 1 1/4 points an awful lot. Well, that means you're paying attention. Okay, let's go 13.75 1/4 minus 1366.75. 8.5 points. $8.5. That's how far the market moved. Has nothing to do with how many points you took out of the trade. That's just how far. When we got our signal to buy on a limit at 66.75, from that point, the market then rallied straight up 8.5 points. Okay, moving on. Okay, if you bought this pullback right here, you got stopped out for 2 points. No arguing. That's just the way it is. Okay, now get a bearish cross. And I've already measured this, and I already checked it out this morning. You could have got filled on this. Okay? Right here. Come to the trading room in the morning and I'll tell you how. You're probably going, well, how do you get filled? Well, I'll tell you. It's not a secret. 1368 to 1360.75, 7 1/4. And for a guy with hay fever, I'm doing math pretty good tonight. I'll probably wake up tomorrow and realize it's all wrong. Okay, so bearish cross, pull back, 7 1/4 point drop. Nice work. Okay, now price pulls back. You sell this guy on a limit because that's what the system tells you to do. And what happens? You get a drawdown. Well, let's see what the price was. Oh Lord, that's hard to see. 1363.50. You know, maybe you could have took 1 1/4 out of that. Maybe you could have took 1. Maybe you could have took 3 ticks. Let's just say you got stopped out. That makes it easy on us both. I can sleep at night. You can continue to believe me. Alright. Get a bullish cross. Price pulls back. Our system says buy on a limit at 1365. No question. Just do it. Okay? Hold on. Gotta sneeze. And I'm back. That was quite a sneeze, too. You can't beat a good sneeze, right? Okay. Alright. 67 1/4. Minus 65. Oh, I could have done that. Here we go again. Oh, I gotta hurry and get through this. 2.25. Gesundheit, thank you. 2.25. Okay, the entry. Buy on a limit right here. Couple ticks of drawdown. Maximum potential in that trade, 2.25. Okay. Now, you got a little double top here. This thing may be getting tired, but hey, it pulls back. So you buy it again. At the same price, it looks like. And if you bought it, you got stopped out. Isn't there some way to, like, filter these things? Of course there is. This right here is telling you bullish divergence. Which actually would have filtered you into the trade. We got other stuff too. Keep in mind, I've got hay fever, so. Alright, so you got stopped out there. Okay, what happens next? Boy, this is starting to look pretty messy. Alright, you get a bearish cross, get a pullback to right there. Now, good evening, Paducah, Kentucky. Okay, the pullback's to 64 1/4. It drops to 62 1/4. That's 2 points. Okay, then it pulls back. Okay, after this pullback, I'm just I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to explain to you why there really wasn't an entry here. You got in over here. Okay. Now, if you stayed in it, I'll be honest with you, 64 1/4 to 66, 1 3/4 points, so not quite a 2-point drawdown. But nonetheless, as you can see, this is pretty messy in here. Okay. Now, we try to get a bullish cross going here, but it doesn't really happen. We try to get a bearish cross going here, but it doesn't really happen. See, if you come to the trading room, I'll walk you through this, and I'll make sure you understand. You can back this up and look at it, but by the time this crosses, price has already come pulling back, and it just there was nothing to get you in trouble there. Okay, there was no definable setup based on our criteria. Our indicator would have never told you to be long or short in that little whoop-de-doo right there. Okay, this pullback here, nope, the MA is on the wrong side of the BBC. So, all right, this time we get a long trade. Price pulls back to 64.75, runs up to 71.75. 71.75 minus 64.75. That's 7 points. Maximum potential. 7. Okay. And then another little pullback here. You start to see how they wind themselves down. Oh, that next one can't quite make it. See? Alright. So this pullback is to 68 1/4. And it runs up to 70.50. 70.50 minus 68 1/4. 2.25. Okay. Now we get a bearish cross, and I'd really love to factor this one in, but in good conscience, it's kind of hard for me to. If I stretched it out, you see that little space right in there? That's actually a pull away. And then you get a pull back. So, I'm not going to count this one. But really from 68 down to 63, there's a 5-point move here that I'm not going to count. I'm also not going to call it a stop out, because there was, if we're not going to call it a trade, then certainly it can't get stopped out if it's not even a trade, right? Will you at least give me that? Okay. All right. So that's just one that got away. And the very last trade. Oh my goodness. Boy, am I glad to see this. Because I really got to go take some kind of allergy medicine or something. Okay. Bearish cross. We missed this whole 5 points here just because the market was cruel. 65 1/4 to 63. I can do that. It's 2 1/4. Ta-da! We made it through the entire day. Okay. Every trade exactly the same. Nothing changed. No. Let's just see how many times we got stopped out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, did I go too far? I did, didn't I? Yeah. Here's where the party started last night, Sunday night. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's go right, so I can make sure I count them all. Let me just shrink this down. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 trades were stopped out. We never risk more than 2 points on a trade, so 4 times 2 equals 8. But you know me, I'm going to factor in a little slippage. We'll call it 10. S&P 500 E-mini futures, unless you're a really big trader, you shouldn't get slipped. Or you got brokerage issues. Something's going on. But let's say on every one of those 4 trades, you got slipped 1 tick. Well, then actually that would be +1, wouldn't it? I mean, let's be fair. Let's say that on every trade you got slipped 1 tick. 4 times, yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's go through and tally up the others. See what we got. 2.25, 2.25, 7, 2, 2.25, 7.25, 8.5, 4.5, 36. Okay. So we had 36 points maximum potential. That means you had to be at the keyboard from the open of Globex, or at the screen from the open of Globex to the close of Globex, or even still out there now clicking and trading away. That's not reasonable. It's also not reasonable that on a 7-point move that you're going to get all 7 points, or then on a 2 1/4 point move you're going to get all 2 1/4 points. So I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to take that 36, I'm going to divide it by 2, and I'm going to call it 18. $18, 36 points maximum, but you only could get half. And that would be on a really good day, being honest. But you got every stop. You managed to catch every one of them babies. 18 minus 9 equals, let's see, carry the 1, 9. So I'm going to call this a 9-point potential net. Now, I don't think anyone who's followed along here would argue that it wouldn't be possible with all these little 2-point moves, a 7-point move, and an 8-point move. There's actually 2 7-point moves, an 8-point move, a 4.5-point move. You know, maybe you didn't get 9 points. Maybe you got 5. Maybe you didn't trade every trade. Right. I'm sure you didn't. Okay. But what could you have gotten out of that? What hours of the day would you actually have been trading? Which trades would you have actually been willing to put on? How long would you have been willing to stay in that trade? These are all questions you have to ask yourself, friend. But another day, and I know where you're going. You're thinking to yourself, now this can't keep going on. This guy can't keep coming on here every day showing us these charts with these same indicators and this same little methodology, and that every day it's going to end up positive, because that's not possible. Because if it was possible, then everybody'd be doing it and everybody'd be rich, or there just wouldn't even be a market. Well, there's 9 ways to Sunday you can argue this thing. Okay, I haven't changed this setup in over 2 years. It just is what it is. Okay, and I'm not trying to make it out to be anything other than that. I'm certainly not trying to turn it into some cheap parlor trick. I'm saying is, if you come and take the free trial, in 1 week I will teach you how to execute this trade flawlessly. You'll see it setting up. You'll know exactly when to enter. And I'll help you learn how to make wise decisions as to when you should get out. That's a promise from me, Dwayne, the founder of CFRN. Thanks for bearing with me through this whole hay fever thing. Hay fever, allergy, whatever. Thank you. You've been so kind. I'll see you tomorrow morning in the live trading room. CFRN.net/apply.